Trevor Duell, why can I never think of a thoughtful question when Thursdays roll around? Trevor, I suffer from this exact same malady as you do. I'm not joking either. Um, as far as I'm concerned, Trevor, and as far as you're concerned, just between the two of us, Stratosphere Lounge is going to be on Wednesday night. So have your question ready by Wednesday. And then if it turns out that we shoot on Thursday, you'll have a whole extra day to think about the things you should have said and thought about on the drive home. By the way, Dave Big Booty mentioned that John Kennedy said, "Ich bin ein Berliner," people said he's basically saying, "I'm a jelly donut," meaning that he should have said, "Ich bin Berliner." And ein Berliner was a German pastry. A Berliner was a jelly donut. So what he really said was, "I am a jelly donut." It's all a lie. That's just not true. Either one of them is acceptable. And this whole story was told about the jelly donut thing many, many years after he gave that speech by somebody who was very pro-communist, a very just pro-communist guy, and he just made it into a slur. He said, the guy couldn't even get that right. He just said, "I'm a jelly donut." No, this is one of those things where you're doing your very best to destroy the foundations of the pop culture. You know, oh, the Pilgrims weren't really this, and and Plymouth Rock never this, and you know, and just George Washington never threw a dollar across the. Yeah, okay, well, that's true. But I talk about this in one of the Cold War episodes. Take George Washington. He didn't throw a dollar across the Potomac, and he didn't chop down a cherry tree and then say to his father, "Father, I cannot tell a lie. I chopped down the cherry tree." He didn't do either of those two things. They never happened. But they're not true. But they are super true. In other words, the reason those stories stick is because they go to a higher truth about George Washington, and that is his peerless personal honesty. "Father, I cannot tell a lie. I chopped down this cherry tree." His personal honesty is so deeply ingrained in him that story tells you that he had it essentially from birth. And then the idea that George Washington could throw a silver dollar across the Potomac was there because George Washington, what was he, 6'3", 6'4", in a time when people were 5'8", 5'9", tops. George Washington was so physically imposing and so physically strong, especially when he was young, that if anybody could throw a dollar across the Potomac, it would have been George Washington. He would have been able to throw a dollar further than anybody in the country, probably. He was absolutely strapping, strong guy. And so even though he didn't do it, and I'm not saying fake but accurate, but I am saying it is super true. He didn't throw the dollar across the Potomac, but the reason you say that he did and the reason people believed it is because that was a way of showing to people, telling people just exactly how strong he was. And Aesops says he spent 17 months in Germany. He says Berliner is not a donut. Donut in German is apparently not Durchnut. D-O-N-U-T. Durchnut. Apparently in German, donut is donut. But anyway, I'm glad I was able to put that one to rest because it always bothered me, and it bothered me the way it was supposed to. Oh, here's this great pro-freedom thing. No, it's not really pro-freedom. He made a stupid mistake. He called himself a jelly donut. These are the same people that say that Reagan had nothing to do with the wall coming down. It was apparently a dispatching error of some kind and could have happened any time to anybody, and, okay, whatever. These scoreboard crybabies, these are the people that talk about having gotten more first downs in the game, even though we lost by 40 points.